Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, and the IYT. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, it's free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, if you're looking for a new broker, check out CobraTrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Been using these guys for years, best in the business. If you're an active trader, check out CobraTrading.com. All right, guys, so 54 million on the day, and I believe after hours we have about 12 to 15 million, so we had about 40 million on the day. Another light volume session for a Friday, and still stuck in the 255.01 range. We are consolidating sideways, inside bar pattern. This is telling us higher prices. You have 257.50 to 60 areas are going to be natural resistance, because once we get up here a little bit higher, there are no technicals other than even numbers and a couple other ways that we do to see where we can find some resistance. So as long as it stays above the 20, the 50, and the 200, you're in a bullish stance moving higher. A lot of times at all-time highs, this patterns can fail, and if they do, you get some little bit more downside action and possibly start retesting these lower areas down here. So bullish case, as long as it stays above the moving averages and above above the 250 area, which is down in here, after this bullish consolidation, and then it started taking off. That's what it's pretty much doing, guys. Light volume markets, consolidation up, consolidation up, consolidation up. Now we're doing more consolidation. Do we go for a couple weeks and get a couple pullbacks here and there? Possibly. Earnings coming up next week. This is what's really going to drive the markets up or down, so watch for that. Weekly close. Weekly close, not bad. We had the push up through the 250, the 250, 250, and the 255 area. This is where we're holding right now. Last price on this one was 254.95, so we closed a little bit below, but we had some pretty good follow through going up on the weekly chart as well. Volume was light, like we said, but you got to respect these markets. They have an uptrend. You have the 20 MA, the 50 MA, and the 200 MA still above it and still grinding higher. So you have to respect that as a trader. And remember, when you're taking positions in these markets, especially trying to go short, money management is key to not getting your butt kicked. All right, let's go to the IWM. IWM, a little bit negative on the day. No great shakes, just, this one had a great move, guys. I mean, come on, we went 134 to the 150 area. We talked about this 150 area for a long, long time. I'm going to stick just a straight line going through there, a trend line going through there. But this is good bullish consolidation, guys. Inside bar, bullish consolidation. I like the fact that we're going down here and then possibly setting up for higher prices. You're looking at 152.50, 155, 157.50, and then 160 if this continues up. You still are in some bullish action above the 20, above the 50, above the 200, so everything's looking good. But this one was a little bit weak on the daily today, and still chopping around holding this area. If we do somehow crack below 148.16, or the low end of this big green bar, and it gets through this 20 MA, we will be coming down in here really, really quick. So again, earnings is very important in this. These guys, these big boys like the Googles and the Netflixes, the Amazons, the Nvidias, all the important ones coming up, Apple and all that, these have to have good earnings. If they don't, I think this market could get choked a little bit and then we get a pullback. I'm still expecting a pullback in October, but we'll see how that goes, guys. It's been a little bit tough shorting these markets, but a lot of these individual stocks are pulling back, so we're making money. It doesn't really matter. And guys, I play long or short. I still play calls. I write a lot of calls too. We've been killing it with that lately, so we've been doing really well with those. And so what? We got some swing trades out there, and this is how we're playing this thing. So IWM, still okay. Let's go to the weekly close. Weekly close, it did not get followed through on this one, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks up with a nice little pause. Let's see if we go sideways on the weekly now and start consolidating in a bullish manner. Remember, this was a pretty good bullish pattern here, guys. Up, sideways. I don't like the fact that we kind of floated higher, then we had the pullback and then the launch. I would have liked to seen just a nice little fade into this and then the pop. So let's see if this thing can continue higher. Will it? I don't know. Well, we'll know more next week when we get some earnings reports going out. And basically, you want to close above the all-time high, which is 150.68 on the weekly chart here. So let's see if we get another consolidation pattern next week, and then maybe a little bit of follow through. If not, we'll be watching for this pattern because it is fairly new with the weekly chart going. I mean, we got the push and then 1 week consolidation here. Let's see if we can get 7, 8 more weeks and then the pop. If this reverses down, the key areas you're watching is this trend line and then this top here, which is around 144.19. If that starts giving out, then you have to look for this support too as well. But still in a bullish stance, above the moving averages, everything's okay with the IWM. At this point, guys, other than the light volume, which scares me a little bit, but you got to keep an eye on that stuff too. Now the Qs, guys, let's go into the daily chart. Daily chart just can't, we're right into that upper trend line, just can't get through it. I mean, we closed to the upper range of it today. Every day we're making new all-time highs on the 10 o'clock news. Hey, all-time highs for the NASDAQ. Oh my gosh, hurry up, get in. Just be careful in these markets, especially on this type of volume here, guys. We grinded up the last 5 days on nothing. It closed almost right at the all-time highs, but we're still at this trend line here, which has been holding it down. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Bottom line, the Qs have to hold the 146.58 area, and if it starts pulling back, then you're watching the MAs. But right now, bullish stance, still okay. That's like my whole thing for the last like 5 months. Bullish stance, this and that, but we're just grinding up, guys. I mean, we went from 137 to 150. It was a pretty good move, but we're staying above these moving averages. We have a nice bullish trend intact, but usually the trend is your friend, guys, until the end, and then all of a sudden, boom, we pull back. So as long as we're going up on this light volume, I still think it's suspect. I mean, look at the volume in here when we're getting some sell candles. It's huge. It's really big when it's on the sell side. Then you get the green side, and it's just kind of, I mean, this one was okay, and then look at that, disappear. So again, on the weekly chart, we're right into this trend line here. That's big. So let's watch where we're going to close. I mean, we closed right on top of it. You know, I'd like to see 150 get hit first, 151 area. The all-time high was 148.51. We talked about the IWM at 150. We talked about the Qs at, or the SPY at 250. The Qs at 150. The DIA at 250. I don't know if that's going to, they're still 20 points away on the DIA, but we're going to keep an eye on that. So right now, it's not doing bad. We're trying to grind higher. Let's see what next week brings going into earnings. That's going to be big. So keep an eye on your positions and stuff. And if you're long, just tighten the stops. You don't want to get burned in this one. All right, so let me take this fib out here. So we had, we were talking about the 225 area. This is the DIA, guys. Again, going up on anemic volume, 40 cents up. We had 1.7 million on the day, so which wasn't too bad. You know, I can't complain with that. But you know what? Let me clear out some of these. Remove that. So let's go back to the daily. All right, so daily, we had the areas. I'm just going to draw them in real quick. We had 225. You know what? I'm going to put this one in here. I'm going to put this little top in here. Bottom line, as long as this one holds these areas, holds above the 20, the 50, and the 200, we're okay. The 229 area seems to be a little bit of resistance. I think as well as the 230 area is just going to be natural resistance from the big even number at 230. You're going to have more resistance, of course, if you move this up here at 235. I'm going to put one in there as well. And then as well as we had it at 220, right in here. And these are just numbers when this thing starts to move up. It's just natural resistance, guys, when there's no technicals up here. But the big area now will be the 223.97 as well as this 20 moving average here. And see how it's just grind and grind and grind. And it came off this pretty good bullish, it's an okay. I don't like that it dropped and then curved and went back up. It would have been nicer if it would have kept going right to the 20 MA and then pop. It doesn't matter at this point. The 50 MA's holding this one. 20 MA's holding this one as well, and let's see what we get in the next week with the earnings coming up. Big earnings coming up in the next couple weeks, so we got to really keep an eye on that stuff. But technically, guys, still above the moving averages, still in a bullish stance. Nothing wrong with this one other than the light volume float. And then on the weekly chart, we did get some follow through last week, but right into this 229, 230 area, and let's see how it holds up with that. I know we had another trend line somewhere in here. I pulled it off. I'm at home right now, guys. And I had another trend line in here. But we'll look at that next week. Right now, it's not too important. The 230, 229 area is a little bit more important to me, and we are a little bit stretched from the 20 MA, kind of like here. See how we got a little bit stretched, and then it went sideways, a little bit stretched, and then it pulled back to the 20. This one held it, a little bit stretched. I'm thinking we get a little bit of a pullback unless the earnings reports are good. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then the IYT, guys, what can I say? We're trying to get above this line technically. Let's go back to the daily chart. Here's your line. So it came back up, retraced back into this upper trend line, and then boom, right back up. Looked like it was going to break out, got above this high, closed, never confirmed, came right back in. So at this point, guys, let's see what this pattern gives us next week. Right now, we're up and kind of chopping around up here on light volume. And look at this volume back here, guys. It's almost disappeared. So watch this on the daily. Nice reversal today. Remember, this IW or the IYT and the IWM, this has to lead the markets higher. It's an old school theory, but it's a theory that's been working for years and years and years. And the transports and the Russell have to lead. I mean, we had the tax plan for the IWM. That's why we launched on that one. But again, it was just news. Everything's being driven by CNBC hype news, period. And the Fed, of course, grandma if you follow me on StockTwit. So, but this one was down pretty good today, over 1%. You got to keep an eye on this one. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, we did close above this trend line still. That's big. I mean, could be a trend line breakout. So we have a little bit of a doji, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's see if we go sideways on the weekly. If we continue sideways, then this one can possibly pop higher. So keep an eye on this one. We had a nice run from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a run and a new high, and then pushed back, closed below here. We still have not confirmed above this trend line, so watch for that. Bottom line, guys, light volume markets are driving this market, possibly waiting for earnings coming up starting next week. We had a couple of the banks last week, which I don't know if they were that good, but they were red Thursday, Friday, which tells me, guys, when the banks are red and the markets are still green, something's going on here, guys. If they continue to be red and earnings comes out not so good, we should get a nice significant pullback in these markets. But in the meantime, we're going to keep trading. We've been writing some calls on StockBookie.com, making some good trades and making something happen here. So again, thanks for following my StockTwit stream, and thanks for following me. Thanks for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it, guys. God bless. See you on the charts.